On Fox One, you can stream Fox's biggest moments live. Get out! Bigger.
I can feel the sweat and I can smell it a little.
Bigger.
That was genius!
Yeah, that's what we talking about. Fox One, we live for live. Streaming now.
Welcome to the Trip Tales podcast with me, Kelsey Graves. Let's jump into a new episode exploring a vacation destination that you'll want all the details about. Hey everyone, welcome back to Trip Tales, the podcast where real people share their real trip stories to give you destination inspiration and practical planning tips. Today, I'm joined by Shannon, who just returned from a big family trip to Maui in June 2025. So welcome, Shannon. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I start every episode with a rapid fire get to know you. So tell everyone where you live, what you do, and about your family.
We live in Kansas City, and my husband and I have two girls. They are 5 and 3. And I work as a rare disease family access manager for a biotech company based out of the Boston area. So I'm a remote worker.
Cool. Is everybody all abuzz in Kansas City about Taylor Swift's announcement last night?
Oh, yes. Yes, it is on my list to listen to that episode today. I couldn't even download it today. It was so busy.
It comes out Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Well, that would explain.
Yeah. So when Shannon and I are recording this, it's the morning after Taylor Swift went on the Travis Kelsey and Jason Kelsey's New Heights podcast, and they did some promo reels, and she had a countdown on her website last night, and everything was orange and glittery, and they promoted her new album. But that New Heights episode, which I'm also going to watch, is coming out Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time, like a TV show. So I told my husband, I was like, just buckle up and lock in for Wednesday night, because this is going to be what we're watching on TV.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that, because I thought I was having a system issue.
No, it's not out yet. It'll be out soon. But anyways, I was figuring Kansas City was probably pretty excited about that. I watch Chiefs games now, which is so hilarious. Just because, I love NFL football anyways. And the Chiefs are fun to watch because they are a great football team. But then it helps when they pan to the box and there's all these celebrities up there mingling.
Oh, and she has done so many great things for our city. It's so awesome to be in Kansas City and to have her a part of it.
I'm sure it's so fun. Okay, but back to Hawaii. This Hawaii trip was a multi-generational family vacation with family members joining the trip from Kansas City, San Antonio, and even Australia. So before we get into the details of the trip, tell us why Hawaii for this big family adventure.
So my father-in-law, who lives in San Antonio, has always talked about doing everybody comes to Hawaii sort of vacation. My sister-in-laws that live in Australia, it's sort of a halfway point for all of us to meet. And I think the real reason was his parents did this for his family and his brothers and their family. So they have this amazing memory of a Hawaii trip back in the 90s.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So this is the time we were supposed to go in June of 2020, and we all know how things were going then. So it worked out best to do it this year.
So in June of 2020, did you have kids yet?
I would have had a 9-month-old.
Yeah. Yes. So maybe this worked out better that you have the memories with both your kids. Yes. And yeah.
The family's complete as of today. Yes.
Perfect. And that is a big trip for you did you have the youngest kids on the trip?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And so were you nervous about how big of a trip this is, how far it is? Or were you just this is what father-in-law wants, we're doing it?
I was nervous. I was nervous about the flight. I was really nervous about the time change. It's a 5-hour time difference from Kansas City. Fortunately, we're out of the diaper phase, but we still need car seats. All of the logistics of little kids is still there. So I started planning pretty far in advance. The things that were overwhelming me in my head, I was like, I'm just going to break things down into smaller steps. So one of those was breaking the trip up going and coming back.
Yes, I think that's so smart. And I'm so excited to talk about that because my husband and I have been to Hawaii, but we haven't brought the kids yet. But it is on my radar because it's such a iconic trip. But it is that first, especially from us in Tennessee, we're not too far from you in Kansas City, just kind of getting all the way there and the amount of stops you have to make. I do feel like breaking it up is an interesting idea. So I'm curious to hear more about that. Who all went on this trip? It was a big group. And earlier we were talking about how you got into the Trip Tales podcast was my Disney Wish episode. And on that trip, you went with a lot of people. So I feel like there's a trend here that you go on these big trips, which is kind of fun. I feel like I would have liked the Wish better if I had a support system with me.
The Wish trip started with my friend Jamie and I wanting to take our girls. They're the same age. And then we thought, well, our parents are probably not ever going to see our kids at Disney because we're on the older side of having younger kids and our parents are in their 70s. So we just started inviting people and everyone wanted to go.
I love it.
And it was a really fun trip. My in-laws that did the Hawaii trip were also on the Wish with us.
Oh my gosh, so fun. Okay, so who all went and how many people total were on this big Hawaii trip?
Okay, so there were 15 people total.
Wow.
My father-in-law and mother-in-law from San Antonio, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law from Australia, and then another sister-in-law and her partner from Australia. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law also from Kansas City with their 16, 14, and 12-year-olds.
Okay.
And then my family with the 5 and 3-year-old.
So is your husband from Australia?
No, he's from...
What's happening with all the Australia?
It's so random. My husband was born in San Antonio, grew up in Kansas City. His dad and stepmom have always been in San Antonio. And then his two sisters that are, I guess, his half sisters, born and raised in San Antonio. And the older of the two met her husband, who was stationed there with the Australian military, just met at a bar in their 20s. And she followed him to Australia because that's where he was from. And then Christy, the youngest sister, went to visit and spend some time there. And then COVID hit and she met her partner and
Wow.
I think lost them both to Australia.
I know. Wow. That is such a wild story that half your family's over there, but nobody was originally from there except for the first, guy that your sister-in-law met. And it's so far away. I get not upset, but my sister, who I'm super close with, lives in Boise, Idaho. And it's so hard to see her and my nieces because it's 2 flights every time. We cannot get a direct and it feels so far away. And I'm like, wow, that's actually close compared to where your family is.
It is. They couldn't be farther away, right?
Right.
So, fortunately, when they visit, which we get to see them probably once a year, it's for a good chunk of time.
Okay, fun.
Yeah.
Or you get to go on these awesome trips and meet up with them on these awesome trips.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a big group, so I'll be curious to hear how that all went. How did you guys divvy up this trip planning? Was it all hands on deck? Did your father and mother-in-law kind of handle the whole thing since it was their dream trip? Or did one person take most of it upon themselves?
The sister-in-laws found the Honua Kai Resort. And basically they booked, what each family needed. So they booked the resort and then we all just did our own flights.
And then all the activities and excursions, was that were you guys all together the whole time or did you do kind of your own things sometimes?
We all did our own things. We did family dinner, we did dinners and we did a luau. That was our big thing. And so everybody just kind of chimed in we had a group text and, the guys didn't care.
They didn't participate.
No.
My husband's all the group chats from family are muted on my husband's phone. And I'm cool. I'm glad to see you're participating.
Yes. So we did a luau as a group. And then there were a few things, my kiddos were way too young to do a catamaran sunset cruise, or the road to Hana. We didn't do those things. So it was nice, everybody could kind of do their own thing, but then we all had a central landing spot.
It's a good reminder for people that if you do a big trip like this where you want to include grandparents and then there's cousins of all different ages, that you don't all have to do everything the whole time together, which also can be like a little challenging just to be together, so many people for so many days in a row. But that like if this works for one group, you go and do that and other people will go enjoy something different and we'll meet back up at dinner. I think that's just a really good reminder. Let's talk about getting there and how you kind of stair-stepped this. So tell us how your family of four got to Hawaii.
We flew out of Kansas City on a Thursday morning to Phoenix. And I chose Phoenix. I kind of looked at where Southwest was flying to Maui.
Smart.
So I
Like you
think
wanted to see where Southwest, I do this all the time because we're Southwest people too, where you could fly out of, where you could get a direct flight on Southwest to Maui.
exactly.
And Phoenix was one of those choices.
Phoenix was one of those choices. We landed on Phoenix because I travel a lot for work, and I have just come across this wonderful woman who's a driver in Phoenix, and she bought 2 car seats for my kids when she drives us. So we actually go to Phoenix a lot because it's easy for us to get there, and Stephanie will always drive us.
That is the nicest thing. How sweet.
It's so sweet. And she's always early. She communicates so clearly. So I knew that there was never a chance like that we were going to be struggling to get to the airport on time. I just knew it was going to be as flawless as it could be with her.
Yeah, and it's like a little safety net. You're like, it's like being somewhere like if your parents were going to pick you up from the airport or something. It's like, okay, this feels easy and safe.
Yes. And I liked the idea of Phoenix. You know, the airport isn't like LAX. It's just a little easier to navigate with kids. And I wanted a place where we had a 2-hour time change to kind of like ease our way into that 5-hour difference from home.
I feel like all of these reasons are extremely smart. I'm like loving this.
So I will tell you, because I had to rethink how I did this. And we were talking with some friends about Hawaii because they're going to Aulani in October with littles. And you have to book one-way tickets, right? So it's not the traditional way of booking trips. So I had to book Kansas City to Phoenix one way, and then Phoenix to Maui one way the next day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think in the Points and Miles word, they call that a positioning flight, which I've learned. So you positioned yourself for Maui in Phoenix. So you had to get to Phoenix. It's not like you're just booking one big round trip because you're kind of breaking it up.
Right.
So you guys get to Phoenix and then you stay the night to kind of ease into the time difference and not have a full, really long travel day for your 2 little kids. So you land in Phoenix, and where do you guys stay?
We stayed at the JW Desert Ridge.
Sounds like a dream.
It was a dream. It was a place we will certainly revisit because there was a huge, like, lazy river, huge water slides. The food was amazing. The service was fantastic. The margaritas were so good. We spent the whole day at the pool. And then later in the afternoon, they had like tie-dyeing t-shirts and all of the kids club stuff that like I said, we could have spent probably 3 or 4 days there.
Yeah, so that could be a destination in and of itself, but you went ahead and had like a fun kickoff to vacation, lots of pool time, fun margaritas, poolside activities, and then hoping you got a great sleep. And then were you up and out the next morning to get to Maui?
We were, yes. We had a 9:00 flight.
That's not too bad though.
It
For like,
wasn't bad.
I feel like sometimes the big flights, are like 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and that kind of really messes with your day. So I feel like 9 a.m.'s a nice time.
It was. It was a really nice time, and it was interesting to see so many people that had flown really early in the morning and that was their connection to Maui because my husband
Because that could have been you.
It would have been, yes.
Yeah.
They were exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
So it just reassured me that we had certainly made the right decision to stay in Phoenix. And I will say we stayed on points. We're Marriott people, so that's how we landed on the JW Desert Ridge. We're pretty loyal to Bonvoy.
Awesome. So how long was the flight-ish, if you can remember, from Phoenix to Maui?
5.5 to 6 hours.
Okay. I feel like 6 is where it starts feeling pretty long. But like, for us, if we fly out west to like go skiing or like California, you're still getting into those 4-ish hour flights. So I feel like it's probably just those last couple hours where you're like, okay, we are still on this plane with our children.
Yes. Yeah, it was probably the last couple hours. And my kids were so tired from the day before that they both slept a decent amount of that flight.
That's awesome.
I had also packed these inflatable footrests that you just
Okay,
blow
tell
up
us
with your
more.
mouth. They're from Amazon, and you just inflate them with your mouth, and the kids have a place to put their feet. And
Smart.
yes, it was like a hack.
Because the kids do get uncomfortable with their legs hanging down, and then they try to like shimmy up to kind of like lay sideways, and it just does it come all the way up to seat level, or is it a little lower than the seat level? Like how high it comes up?
Well, it's like you can change the direction of it. So it could be as high as the seat level, or if it's on the lower side, lower.
Okay, so it's almost
My
like they
kids
could kick their feet up and lounge.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, so my kids could both lay down a little bit curled up, but have their feet on those so they weren't hanging off or pushing against the seat ahead of them.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We will link those in the show notes because that sounds really
Yes.
cool. I'm going to look it up. My 7-year-old's probably old enough. She doesn't need that anymore, but she's she wants to be cozy. She's always like flopping on me and trying to get in all these positions. And I'm like, she might really enjoy that little footrest.
Yes, and we also found on Amazon these pillows that the blanket like stuffs into, and it was a super soft blanket, and my kids still use them today. They were the perfect weight, and having the pillow basically attached was really helpful.
Yes. Perfect. We'll link those too. And did they just stuff those in their backpacks?
I
Or
actually
you
stuffed
probably had?
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one of those really large Patagonia backpack duffels. So I had the inflatable footrest and then their pillows and blankets, all the snacks, a change of clothes for everybody just in case something happened.
Hmm.
And then, just markers and paper and
Yeah. All the
more
things.
snacks and
Yeah.
bubble gum.
Yeah.
Fox News is now streaming live on Fox One. The voices you trust, the stories you won't find anywhere else.
This is the story breaking right now.
Fox One, we live for live.
Try it free for 7 days. Offers are subject to change. Go to Fox One for complete terms and conditions.
Okay, so you land in Hawaii. I'm sure it's getting exciting as you're getting closer and you're like over the ocean and you're seeing the islands. And I love that you flew straight into Maui because I feel like a lot of times people are having to transfer once they get to Honolulu. So you land and you are there.
We're there. It was a little hectic because the airport's a little crowd. I think all the planes landed at the same time.
Yeah.
So it was pretty crowded. And my kids were just done. They
Mhm.
were done. So
Did you have a stroller with you?
No.
Okay.
So that would have been a good
You're like, I can
idea.
only bring so much. I've got footrests and blankets. Yeah.
It would have been helpful to have for my youngest for
Mhm.
sure. We landed and then met up with our Australian sisters, and my in-laws actually started the trip a few days earlier in Honolulu. So they were flying into Maui at about the same time. So we met up with them because we hadn't seen them in a year, wanted to, say hi and connect. So we spent probably a little extra time at the airport when my two girls were just like, great,
Yeah.
let's get going.
Yeah. That's tough. I know. It's like also hard when you're the family with the youngest kids because you like so want to like say hello and chit chat. And then in the back of your mind, you're like, my kids are like melting down more and more every second. Like, how do I navigate this? I need to like get them into a car seat so they fall asleep on the drive and all the things.
And they
'Cause-
were starving.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were starving.
I know. Because Southwest, it's like, they give you some snacks, but they don't give you much. So it's hard on those long flights.
Yes.
So did you guys get a car then? What was your way of getting around Maui once you landed?
We rented a minivan with and rented car seats just through National.
Nice.
And that was easy. It was right at the airport. You can either take a tram or walk, and it's pretty covered and shaded. We walked because the tram was just full of people, and so we just walked over to the rental car place and then got in the car and got the car seats. And
Was that just for your four, or were you guys sharing that with other people on the trip?
leaving the airport, it was just us, but we kind of used it as the car for everybody. So if somebody wanted to go do something, run to the store, whatever, they took the van. The guys did go on a fishing excursion one day, and so we drove them there and then
It's like a
picked them up.
community car.
It was, yeah. That's why we chose a van. Like the
Yeah.
Jeeps are cool, the convertibles are cool, but we need practical.
I know. That was on my last episode. I was talking about this, the Key West road trip episode. It's like, it's hard to not get a minivan when you've got a family, all different ages, older, like grandparents. It just, everyone can get in and out easily. The trunk space never runs out. You can cram so many people in one of those things. It's hard to not get a minivan on a
Yes.
trip.
It makes me want one at home, but my husband would never,
I know.
ever go for it.
I know. I think that ship has sailed for us because we've just had an SUV for so long and my kids are getting older now. But I'm like, I remember my dad being like, it really truly is the most practical car you could ever drive. And I'm like, I get it. I'll just drive them on vacations and wish I had one at home.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So then are you guys headed straight to your resort, or are you making a stop along the way, like at the grocery? Or are you just like, we need to get there and settled and then we will figure out the rest of our day?
We stopped at Chick-fil-A because
Perfect.
my kids were so hungry. My husband's like, we were in Maui eating at Chick-fil-A. But they needed fuel, and we all did. So we stopped at Chick-fil-A. We were surprised by the amount of like wild chickens running around the parking lot at Chick-fil-A. And my kids thought it was so cool. It was like the mascot.
Yeah. You're like, that's kind of lunch.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, don't ask too many questions.
Yeah.
So we had Chick-fil-A and then drove to the resort, which it was about 45 minutes.
Okay. So a little bit of a haul once you get
Yeah.
landed to get all the way there.
Yes. And Costco is by the airport there. So I could have planned that better to stop at Costco after lunch. We were just kind of like, let's just get there.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. And tell everyone what resort you were headed to and why you chose it. And it's really exciting because I've randomly stayed here like 15 years ago, but I'll share about that in a minute.
We stayed at the Honua Kai. It is a resort that's part of the Outrigger family of properties. They're condos and townhomes, but set up as a resort, which was amazing. So we all had our own space. Our family had a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo with a full-size kitchen. We had an ocean view, this amazing patio. And then my sister-in-law and brother-in-law from Kansas City with the 3 bigger kids, they had the same setup, but I believe they had one additional like sofa bed. And then my in-laws and the sisters and their husbands, they were on the main floor in a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, just unbelievable condo. But we chose
awesome.
that, yes, because of it worked for everybody. It's on the beach, and we knew we needed space to cook and have laundry facilities, but also wanted the resort amenities. We wanted pool. We wanted, a restaurant. And the biggest thing my father-in-law wanted all along was he wanted everyone to have an ocean view. So we all had an ocean view. It was really amazing.
I love that so much. We're starting to get to that point where we crave an ocean view as well. If you're going to go all the way there and make all the effort, it's like to wake up each morning and see that view is so special and really just kind of like makes you feel like you're on vacation and is so calming and lovely. And so I just have to share, it's funny. I was like, this sounds familiar. So I searched the resort in my email, Honua Kai. So it's Honua and then Kai, Kai Resort. And lo and behold, 15 years ago, it comes up my husband, like, I booked our room. And it's funny because even back then, 15 years ago, it was through VRBO because it was more of a condo ownership situation. And one of the newer towers, which probably to you just looked lovely and brand new, but was under construction when we went. So it was like part of the resort was built and part of it was being built. And so where we were, we had a full ocean view, but we were close to that construction. So they had like knocked down the price. So we paid $180 a night, ocean view in Honua Kai for like a 1-bedroom, 1-bath with a kitchen. And I don't remember it totally clearly, but what I remember is that it felt like it was like a nice kitchen, like granite countertops, like everything was very, very nice and nice furnishings. And it felt like we were just like living there. Like this was our apartment and we live in Hawaii. And that's what's kind of cool about this place is, like you said, you can spread out, you can get all your like grocery stuff, or if you're going to cook or make mac and cheese for the kids, you really feel like you're kind of living there for a week, which is so awesome for families.
You nailed it. We felt like we lived there. We, had the grocery store that you could just walk to. I also Amazoned a bunch of stuff to myself there about
Smart.
a week in advance. Yeah. So like pool toys and, the shakes my kids like to drink sometimes for breakfast.
Diapers? Or you were out of diapers at that
We're
time, you
out of
said?
diapers.
Because that's a
Actually,
big one for people that are listening.
mhm,
My sister and I used to do this too. Diapers take up so much space. And so we would pack what we needed in like our carry-on or a couple backups. And then we'd ship a box of diapers or pull-ups or swim diapers to our vacation destination because it was
mhm.
just like so much easier.
Yeah, I was thinking like anything that's bulky, like my shampoo and conditioner, my kids' soap, laundry detergent, all of the things that I was like, I don't want to pay Hawaii prices for if I can
Exactly.
just get them from Amazon.
And did it work
Um,
like Amazon Prime just fine? Because I feel like it's like, oh, but we're on Maui. So that feels like a little far from an Amazon distribution center.
yeah. So I started looking about a month out to see if I ordered it on a certain day, how long it would take. And I figured out it was going to take about a week.
Okay.
And here in Kansas City, it takes like 3 hours, right?
Right.
So
Sometimes
I
you're
had
like,
to
you can
change.
take a little bit more time. I don't need
Yeah,
it right this second. I always feel
right,
bad. I'm like, okay, you don't have to show up 3 hours later.
right. So everything was there, and they just brought it to our room, and
Did you
even
give
like
them a heads up at all? Or were you just like, certainly it will be there and just put in the address?
I didn't give them a heads up. I
Yeah.
just put it to myself, and then I put in parentheses hotel guest, and then I
Okay.
put my arrival date and as part of my name.
Smart.
Even like my 3-year-old still needs a puddle jumper.
Mm-hmm.
So that thing's bulky to pack. I bought a $25 one on Amazon and then I left it there. Same with the sand toys because those condos some of them did have like sand toys or, beach chairs or whatnot. So I just donated what we didn't take
Yeah.
home.
I think that's nice.
And a snorkel mask for my oldest.
So smart. Love this. They were like, here
Yeah.
comes Amazon for Shannon's trip.
Yes. I mean, I think there were like 5 packages. They
Yeah.
were like, is this lady moving here?
You're like, maybe tempt me.
Yes.
Okay. So real quick, is it all condos and like direct ownership rentals? Like, do you know how you guys booked it? Or can you just like go to the Honua Kai website and book a room, like a hotel room? Or are you like needing to go through VRBO for this place?
We did not go through VRBO. We went directly through Honua Kai, which believe it takes you to like Maui properties or something.
So a lot of these are listed through their vacation rental situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they are all condos. I did see there were like 600 condos and 73 townhomes. So I'm not sure if it was like this when you were there, but as you're driving to the condo, there's like two condo buildings that are like this shape of a U or a horseshoe that overlook the ocean. And then behind those are villas.
Cool. Good to know.
Yeah.
So lots of different choices for different sizes of groups or what you're looking for. So you had told me before when we were chatting that you'd never been to Hawaii before. So tell us as you're driving from the airport. I know everybody's tired and melting down and you need to get to Chick-fil-A, but what are the vibes? What are you seeing? I also know that Maui and Lahaina, which is where Honua Kai is, had the massive fire. So what are the vibes? What are you seeing? And were there still remnants of the fire damage?
As we left, I guess like Maui proper from Chick-fil-A to Honua Kai, the first thing we noticed were the trees. Like the trees were just absolutely beautiful. Not necessarily palm trees, but just like these massive trees that were almost arching over the highway. My husband was just like, this is just magical to see these trees. So that's what I remember initially coming out of the Chick-fil-A
Parking
area.
lot.
and and then you can see the ocean, the whole way up to Lahaina, and the resort outside the driver's side is just the ocean, and it's incredible. There's so many little beach areas that you just pull off, and it's a state beach. It was pretty breathtaking. I wasn't sure what to expect. Have been to Mexico probably 20 times and thought, well, probably be like Mexico. But it was certainly a very different vibe than Mexico, and very, tropical. And when we got to Lahaina, it was sad. You could see where the fires had destroyed nearly everything.
Oh my gosh, wow.
And there was I remember a few things being rebuilt, and having not seen it before, I wasn't sure what to compare it to. And people have shared that it's not the same at all. It sounds like Lahaina was like the place to do all the cool shopping and the restaurants, and my understanding is that's all gone.
That's so sad. I do remember like going to some really cool restaurants, even casual but awesome restaurants, and kind of beachy type shopping and like all these little centers. So I'm sure that's part of the area you're talking about. That's so sad. So are they happy people are coming and rebuilding the tourism industry, or do you feel like you're in the way?
It never felt like we were even part of the rebuilding area. I mean, everyone was so welcoming and so friendly, and I felt like went above and beyond really everywhere we went.
So it's almost just like that area was destroyed and it's super sad, but now you just wouldn't go there. Like before you would go there to walk around and to shop and to eat, but a lot needs to be rebuilt. So now you're at the resorts and doing excursions and that sort of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
On Fox One, you can stream Fox's biggest moments live. Get out! Bigger,
I can feel the sweat, and I can smell it a little.
bigger.
That was genius!
Yeah, that's what we talking about. Fox One, we live for live. Streaming now.
What did you do like that first night and then that first day?
The first night we just got settled, explored the beach. We had dinner at Duke's restaurant, which is right there on the property.
Is it like an outdoor, casual, kind of oceanfront type eatery?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
It's right there on the beach. There's a boardwalk that goes all along the beach in front of the resort, and Duke's is right there on the boardwalk. So we just had a really chill night. We were all in bed by 8.
Nice. Yeah. You're tired.
Yeah. So our first full day was Saturday, and we were all up by 6:30, which I was pleasantly surprised. There was no like 2 a.m. wake ups or anything like that. So we adjusted very well out of the gate with the time change. So we got up at 6:30. My husband had discovered the food truck park
Fun.
right outside the resort. Yes. And they had a coffee truck that also had acai bowls.
Ooh.
So we were daily visitors He was. I never went. He always went on a coffee run.
And he would bring it back though, right?
He would bring it back, and also the acai bowls, which were fantastic.
So is that on the resort, or you like walk across the street or just over a little bit to get to these food trucks?
You just walk out the back, and it's literally like into this little gated area, and there's a lot of food trucks.
Awesome.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. We just did the beach that day. My 5-year-old learned how to snorkel.
Tell us about the
And
beach there. Is it wide? Is it shallow? Do they have beach chairs? Like, what's the beach setup like?
so you bring your own beach chairs. A lot of the condos had beach chairs. So we didn't have them in ours, but my in-laws had 6 in there. So
Perfect.
we just all kind of share the chairs. With my kids, there wasn't a lot of sitting.
Right.
There was a towel station by the pool, so you just get your own towels and then walk to the beach along the boardwalk. The beach is not like Marco Island white sand by any means, but it's like nice, finer sand. Someone had given me a tip on the water, like the beach once you get into the water, and I'm so glad she did. She said you have to have water shoes because it's very corally and sea urchins are everywhere.
Mm.
So that was something I had not planned on or had even thought about. So we all had like Reef brand or Keen water shoes that velcroed and covered as much as possible because there's a lot of coral and sea urchins.
Okay, good to know. Great tip.
Mm-hmm.
But they still were able to have fun, swim and snorkel, even though
Oh,
there was coral and
yes.
wildlife.
Yes. And actually, that morning we walked out and there was this massive seal sleeping on the beach.
Oh my gosh. You're
I
like,
mean,
where are we?
right in the middle of the beach was this humongous seal. And so we kind of just put our, like, camped with all of our stuff a little ways down from the seal. But as the morning went on, there was a volunteer group that came and like roped off the area because this seal was sleeping, and they patrolled it all day long so that no one could wake the seal up because they monitor these seals all the time, and they know like how long they sleep, and they had said she's had a really short week of sleep, so she needs this.
I'm like, can I be patrolled like this? Can someone say, we're going to watch her sleep for 12 hours and nobody disturb her? She has had lack of sleep and she needs this time on the beach.
Yes, every mother should be treated like this seal. Like,
I love it.
it was like paparazzi. Like, no one could come near her. And
Funny.
she would sometimes move a little bit, but if anyone even got close or even in the water in front of her, they were pushed out real quick.
Okay, wow. And then, so beach sounds lovely, but it sounds like there might not be like beach service down there. Like because these are condos, so you're bringing your chair down kind of like you're at, like when we go to 30A, that area. You know, you're hauling your stuff like a regular beach day. There's no service down there, but tell us what the pool situation is like.
There are three different pools. They're all very close together, though. So it's not like a massive resort at all. Duke's provides, so that restaurant that really is open, it's like a public restaurant, does provide pool service. It's not necessarily overly staffed. So there would be like 1 or 2 people working all 3 pools.
Okay.
So we would typically just go up to the counter if we ordered lunch or wanted a drink or something. You could also just bring drinks in a cooler from your room.
Super smart. Like if you had gotten groceries or whatever, then it's like way cheaper, and you sometimes we'll pack like these little like Yetis or whatever, and then it's way cheaper and easier, and it stays cold.
Yes, exactly.
Anything else that first day? Did you guys leave the resort at all? Did you go out to eat later that night?
We did. We went to the Maui Brewing Company.
Nice.
That night. It was really close to where we were, maybe like a 5-minute drive. it was fine. My husband would say it's like Chili's.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a
he's like,
brewery and there's some bar food there, and it's
yes,
you can get like a chicken fingers or a pizza or maybe like a club sandwich or a salad. But I get it. I mean, I kind of like a
yes,
brewery, but you know what you're gonna get.
yes. And my oldest fell asleep in the booth
Perfect.
during dinner.
Yeah.
So it was a good day. It was a good day.
Good first day.
Um,
Awesome.
and we did see, just snorkeling right there on the beach, a few turtles.
Awesome.
And I missed it, but there were also dolphins. So just right in front of that resort, you can see incredible things.
That's incredible. So
Yeah.
magical.
The next day was Father's Day,
Oh, fun.
and our family from Kansas City was arriving. They had my niece had national dance competition, so they
Oh, I
were
feel that.
yes, they were coming in a few days late because they had dance. So we just spent the day at the beach and the pool. We typically would do the beach first and then the pool. It would get a little windy at the beach. And then we just had a big family dinner in my in-laws condo. They had
Fun.
so much space. Being on the ground floor, we had all of this green space in front of us, and then it was like you could just go to the beach. So
Wow.
there was enough seating for everybody, and we played Cards Against Humanity. And the
We've played that.
kids played.
We've had to go through the deck, and there is now a family deck, I believe, which makes it easier. So you can buy like a family extra deck, but we have gone through the original deck to try to make it like appropriate for teens. But we've also played it before our kids were old enough to play with like in-laws and like grandparent age, and we like can't breathe. We're laughing so hard at like the grandmas having to read some of the cards.
It was so funny, and we actually had the Australian version.
Oh,
So
that sounds like it might
hearing
be even dirtier.
it's so dirty, and there were things that we didn't even understand, but my brother-in-laws from there were just, like, literally on the floor
Doubled
hearing this
over.
these things.
So
So it
fun.
was
But
really fun.
again, it's like you live there. You like have probably like
Yeah.
slider doors open, there's green space, the
Yes.
ocean's right there. What did you guys make for dinner?
That night we had, just a big pasta, like, it was like shrimp, scampi, and I think they did mac and cheese, or they did butter noodles for the kids, and a big salad. And, it was, I guess, a Sunday family dinner that we don't ever get to have with this
Yeah.
family. So, yeah. And like you said, we were outside, the windows were open on the inside, and just having the sunset right in front of us too. It was like hot pink and yellow, and what I always envisioned, like a 19 I always think of like a 1990s t-shirt with palm trees and like
Yes.
a hot
The
pink
like
sunset.
the black
Yes,
palm trees and the sunset
yes,
behind it. Yeah.
exactly. And that was every night,
I just
right
got
there.
chills like about
Yes,
those colors. That sounds so
yes.
beautiful. And where
It
did
was
you guys get the groceries? Did someone run to Costco? Did you guys just hit up that local grocery right there and get everything you needed?
We did. We hit up that local grocery right there. We did 3 big dinners there, and would just send someone the day of. Fortunately for us, my youngest sister-in-law and her boyfriend love cooking, and he was a chef in a former life, so they just kind of took it on.
That's a jackpot.
Yeah, it was a jackpot. Um, and we just got like paper plates and used disposable
Yeah, make it
utensils if we
easy,
could.
don't have a
Yes.
ton of dishes, but, like, so memorable. It sounds like that was, like, very memorable, super fun family time, but it's like you don't have to go out. I mean, of course, you're gonna go out sometimes, but, like, every night for this big of a group to go out for, like, seafood and shrimp, it's like the bills are just so astronomical, and this was the kids can play and run around, your kids can go be doing what they want, they don't have to sit at a table and chairs all night, so I think that's just lovely. It makes me so happy to hear about these family dinners.
It was, yeah, it was awesome. And I'm trying to remember the name of this dessert. It's a common one in Hawaii, and we got it from Duke's. that night, just as carry out. But it's like an ice cream. I have to find it. Hula pie.
Hula pie, like a hula, Hula.
Yes.
Okay, and what's in it?
It's ice cream and Oreos and chocolate. It was delicious.
Okay, noted. If anyone goes to Honua Kai and eats at Duke's, you got to get hula pie.
Hula pie. On Monday night, we did the luau.
Okay.
And we did that at the Sheraton Hotel.
Okay, I'm sure there's a lot of choices when it comes to luau's. So do you know why you guys picked that one?
We chose that one because it was close to our resort and it had good reviews.
Okay, so tell us about it. I mean, I've seen them, online and all that stuff, but it's like an all-inclusive thing, right? And there's a show and a meal. So tell us everything you remember.
My father-in-law, he's so sweet. He wanted my girls to be able to see everything. So we were first table in front of the stage.
Like the reserved first table, VIP.
Yes. We did the VIP. And, I think it was probably each person's ticket was between $150 and $200. And that was for a night of entertainment, essentially, and the meal. So we got there, they have Mai Tais or whatever cocktail you want. When you got there, everybody got a lei. And there's just these beautiful purple, fresh leis. And then they have some of the women doing flowers for the girls and women. And my girls.
Their hair, flowers in their hair. Okay,
yes.
Cute.
And if you're unmarried, it goes on the right side. If you're married, it goes on the left.
Oh, wow. Really calling people out.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Who knew? So,
but I guess it shows people later in the night when you're dancing who's available.
Yes. So it's kind of like a cocktail hour. Like, just like everybody's kind of getting their seats,
getting flowers in their hair, getting a drink. Yeah.
Yes. And then they serve a buffet. And the food was good. It was like there was fish, there were like options for everybody. After the meal, then that's when the show part of the luau started. And, that was so fun to just see our kids see all of the dancers and the fire. And this might have been maybe a little smaller of a show. There were 3 women dancing and I believe 4 men.
And are like tiki torches all around you, like all the little fire torches and...
Yes, there are tiki torches all around. Just such a beautiful night.
Was it interactive at all? Do they get like everybody up or the kids up dancing, or is it more like you're watching?
In the beginning, he was teaching everybody kind of how to dance if they wanted to. But then when it started, it was just watching.
Okay.
And then at the end, they did go around and pick 2 guys, and they actually ended up being both of the Aussies that were with us.
Oh, yes.
To go on stage. So my kids thought that was the greatest thing ever. That of hundreds of people, their uncles were chosen to go on the stage.
Did they volunteer themselves or were they just chosen?
No,
oh,
they were chosen.
That's amazing.
On Fox 1, you can stream Fox's biggest moments live. Get out! Bigger.
I can feel the sweat and I can smell it a little.
Bigger. That was genius. Yeah, that's what we talking about. Fox 1, we live for live. Streaming now.
Tuesday, the guys went on a fishing trip, and that was an all-day excursion. They left at like 5 a.m. and got home at 5. We actually ended up having another family dinner that night and ate the fish that they caught.
Very cool.
Really fun.
I love that. And chef brother-in-law boyfriend prepares it all.
He did. He did. It was delicious. We took the kids to Slappy Cakes. It's a pancake restaurant right across the street from Honua Kai. And they got to make their own pancakes at the table. So there's a griddle. Yeah, it was great breakfast. It got very busy. So I would recommend going as soon as they open. But it was fun for the kids. And from there, I took my girls to the magical Enchanted forest.
That sounds Cool.
It sounded like something from Frozen, so we had to check it out, and it was probably a 10-minute drive from where we were. From what I had read, it was about a quarter of a mile hike. Well, it was not a hike, it was a walk
Yeah.
from the entrance to the Honolua Snorkeling Bay is where you ended up as you walk through this magical forest.
And is it like, I mean, I know Hawaii is so lush and beautiful flowers and beautiful trees like you were talking about. So is it kind of walking through the beautiful nature and then there's some magical like touches throughout?
It was like very large trees and that similar to the ones that we saw as we were driving up to the resort area, just like overarching and like really big. You could like see the really big roots and just massive, beautiful trees. And yeah, it was just very lush in there. And there was a path, a
Okay.
pretty rugged path, but a path from the entrance to then where it just essentially opened up to a little bay and people were snorkeling. And we didn't snorkel, but I've heard it's incredible snorkeling right there. In fact, my friend that has also stayed at Honua Kai, they went in July and they snorkeled there 3 times after we had talked about it. So she
So
said it
if
was
you
their favorite
can,
snorkel.
yeah, bring snorkel gear and kind of be prepared for that. Is it easy to get to this place otherwise, or do you kind of have to go through this path to get to that snorkeling spot?
That seemed to be the easiest way to get there is through that path.
Okay.
The parking was a little hairy. We parked on the side of the highway. There's not a lot of parking.
Okay.
So it's probably a spot that if you got there early enough, you could park in the few parking spots that are there. I was surprised when we got to the Bay Area. There appeared to be people living back there.
Like homeless
So
people?
I don't know if they were homeless because they were like maybe they were campers or like
Okay.
pop-up campers. So
Okay.
it just took me by surprise that there were people that were
Residing.
permanently
Yeah.
residing there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
Not
was
just there for the hike. Yeah.
right. I wasn't probably as comfortable as I would have been had someone else been with me, but I had my 2 little kids
It was
and
just you and your
it was just
girls?
me. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So had I known that, I would have had another adult with me just because.
Yeah. Good for people to know whether they are on their own or not, then they are aware now and they know to expect that if they go on this
Exactly.
little hike. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. And it was a perfect distance. My kids were exhausted by the time we were done. They were wanting to be carried and time to head back and hit the pool.
Perfect.
So Wednesday, the family did a sunset cruise on a catamaran that my sister-in-law booked. We decided, my little family of 4, to do a restaurant that everyone had told us about, Merriman's.
Yes, I went there.
Oh,
It
oh my
is
gosh.
such a dream. It is literally the most perfect place on the planet.
It is. It really is. Someone had also said, "Tell him it's you're celebrating something." So I I guess I said we were celebrating our anniversary. That's in October.
Yeah. A
We
little
got there
early.
and they were like, "Oh, happy anniversary." My husband kind of looks at me and I was like,
You're like, go with it, honey.
This is our anniversary dinner, honey." But because of like booking it as a special occasion, they will seat you outside.
Yes. And the
And
outside patio is the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen. It's like jutting out and kind of rounded natural edges, and it overlooks the ocean. And is there a beach down there?
there is a beach
Yeah.
right to the
It's so
yeah.
gorgeous. I think there was a wedding going on while we were there. I just remember someone else had told us you have to go there. And I was like, okay, fine. And it was everything that people say it is.
The service, we showed up with our little kiddos and they put us at a table that was right by the stairs so that they could walk down and play on that green space and go out on the rocks. I mean, the rocks straight into the ocean, but they loved exploring and we were right by that beach. Um, they're known for their Mai Tais. And Mai Tais in Hawaii are not like a blue Mai Tai on the mainland. They were so good. I I don't know if it's rum. I don't even know what's in them, but they're delicious. They're not super sweet. They had that really cool foam on them, like, and the pineapple. It was an incredible experience at Merriman's.
I'm so happy to hear this because when you told me that the family went on a sunset catamaran cruise, which is like one of my favorite things to do, and then you guys decided to stay back because you had littles, which it wouldn't be fun with littles. But I was just like, oh, bummer. But you had just as special of an evening, just as beautiful views. So I'm so happy you guys still had an amazing night on Maui while they were off doing the sunset cruise.
We did, and my husband and I both say that night was probably our favorite memory of the whole trip. Was the food was incredible.
Yeah. It's like
And
it's
then
like fine dining. It's pretty nice food, right?
it's very nice food.
Yeah.
Our bill, I think, was about
Yeah.
$400. So I would do it again though, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was so good. We would totally do it again. They had great butter noodles for the kids. They um, were so patient, and just the service, everything was fantastic. So after the dinner, we had our reservation at 5, and we spent the rest of the evening down at that beach at Kapalua Beach and saw the sunset. And as the sun was setting, there was a sailboat just coming straight through the sun. Like, I don't know if someone planned it that way, but I have the most incredible pictures of my girls on that beach with that sailboat. And then there was a woman there with her teenage daughter, and she was like, "Why don't you get in this? I want a picture. I
Oh.
want you to have a picture with your girls." And my husband's up at the restaurant, like, getting sunset pictures of the sunset. And this, like, lovely woman is taking pictures of me and my girls at the beach. But it was such an incredible night. I would encourage anyone to go to Merriman's, even if your kids are little. They take care of you, and there's so much to do right there on that little slice of heaven. The one thing there, the parking was it was very busy, but it's all valet, and it's included. So it was great. It was really easy.
So just plan on valeting. And I love that you guys had that memory for just like your little family too, because it sounds like there were so many memorable moments with the big family and all the family dinners, but this was like your little like special treasure from the trip, which makes me super happy.
Friday, we did that was our last night there as a family, and we did dinner in Whalers Village, which is that mall area, at Monkey Pods. Everybody talks about Monkey Pods.
Yes. And every Hawaii episode I have, people talk about it, but I don't believe I've eaten there. So tell us about it.
It is part of the Merriman's family. It's
Okay.
their, I guess, like, casual version. I would skip it and go to Merriman's. Like,
Okay, good to know.
it was very different. And we were in a situation of, like, knowing we kind of went from, like, their fine dining to their casual dining.
Backwards.
We went backwards, right? But it was a great spot for 15 people to have dinner
Yes.
and get to, the Mai Tais were the same recipe. So
What sort
we
of
had a
things
lot
are
of
people
fun.
ordering? Is it like a burger situation or are there some nicer options too?
There are some nicer options, but it's more like pizza, some pastas, pretty casual.
Pretty casual. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. And it was hot in there. It was, like, really hot.
Okay. So maybe save your money, cook in a couple nights, and go to Merriman's instead.
1,000%. That's exactly what I would do. I mean, I would cook in every night and go to Merriman's once. It's so good.
I love it. I know you had the littles with you on this trip, so some of the bigger excursions are challenging, but did anybody do Road to Hana?
Yes. My sister-in-law with her older kids and my father-in-law, they all did it. And they actually left the resort at noon to see the sun set, versus I think a lot of people get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to see the sunrise. And they all said it was incredible. One and done.
Did they take the minivan?
They took a Honda Pilot.
Okay, they had another car. Okay.
Yes.
I haven't like looked into it. I know I should know everything about it because like everybody talks about it 24/7, but why one and done? It's hard to drive it. What's one and done about it?
They said it's like 600 turns.
Okay, wow.
And there's not a lot of amenities, so like restrooms, food. You have to kind of pack to be in the car. And my brother-in-law drove, and he didn't even get to eat because you're white-knuckled turning the whole time.
Okay. That's for a different podcast, a different episode if people are really feeling adventurous. I'm sure some people love it, and just good to know that they said one and done on that one.
Yes. I will share with you. So coming home, we broke it up again. And because we flew Alaska coming home, we flew on points on Southwest and then flew Alaska Airlines coming home. And we stayed in Seattle, and I would never, ever do that again.
Okay, good to know. Why?
Seattle Airport is a nightmare with little kids and luggage. There's construction everywhere. There's like, you think you're getting close to like getting outside, and then you have to go down another escalator, hop on an elevator. It was really challenging. We stayed at the Marriott on the airport property. It's not connected, but close. And it was just a plain Marriott. It was fine. But the next morning, our elevators weren't working. So my poor husband had to carry all of our luggage down 4 flights of stairs. And then we got on a shuttle. That was the only part I would change. I would not do a layover in Seattle, like an overnight one. It would have been probably easier for us to just plow through and get home. You're done at that point. Even if people are melting down, they're about to be in their own beds. So I feel you on that. Or go back through Phoenix, which worked out so well for you. Like kind of go the same way although maybe with Alaskan, it wasn't working as well for that. But good to know. Okay, Shannon, it is hard to leave Maui, but I end every episode with the same question. If someone out there is considering this trip, what is it about Maui that would make you say, just book it? It was the first time I can honestly say I've ever been completely disconnected and just present with my family. I never thought I would take a 3 and 5-year-old from Kansas City to Maui, and we had the most incredible time. I would do it in a heartbeat, to have that uninterrupted time. And where we stayed, we didn't have to leave. There was something to do for everybody. The kids from age 3 to 16 were entertained. The service was great. I think the challenge is getting there, but once you're there, stay for 10 days.
I love it. And we didn't even mention that you don't need a passport, and your phones and money is all easy peasy because it's American, which is awesome.
Yes, it was so worth the time. And I think everyone would agree we'd do it every year if we could.
Amazing. You're making me want to take my kids there and revisit it. Well, thank you so much for being here, Shannon. This was so fun to take a little mini vacation today and go to Maui.
Yes. Thank you.
That wraps up another episode of Trip Tales. If you have a trip you'd like to share about on the podcast, email me at triptalespodcast@gmail.com and I'll add you to the schedule. Also, be sure to follow the show so that you don't miss any upcoming vacation destinations. And if you have an extra minute in your day, please leave a review for the podcast. It helps more than you could imagine. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next episode of Trip Tales.
Fox News is now streaming live on Fox One. The voices you trust, the stories you won't find anywhere else.
This is the story breaking right now.
Fox One, we live for live.
Try it free for 7 days. Offers are subject to change. Go to Fox One for complete terms and conditions.